You like my jersey, yeah?
Man, I do. The Wizards Jordan Jones. I swear to God, I was just thinking about, since you a Bulls fan, that we should do an episode. We ain't gonna do it because we about to do the 2020 Jones, but we should do an episode talking about when Mike was with the Wizards, because that shit was vastly underrated. And when he blocked Ron Mercer, that was Ron Mercer shot on the backboard. That was one of the greatest moments in basketball history. Like,
Mike,
I've
Mike,
never
Mike.
seen anything as incredible as that. I was in the building when that happened. That shit was so fucking amazing.
I'm jealous because look, Mike, right now at 53, 54, I believe could average 13, 14 points a game right now, and not
You oh, not go ahead.
and not even hog the rock. That's on like 12 touches a game. Yeah, make it happen.
I mean, yeah, just off strength, I create separation, and then if he was practicing, he wouldn't be missing those shots he create with separation. I mean, yeah, I can
Yeah,
see it
you
working
think,
in little spurts.
man, Mike in the gym, man, anytime he want, man. Mike getting shots up all day, every day, man. Mike guaranteed beat anybody in horse versus Mike is the GOAT, man. At 55, 54, get to talking shit. We'll make him come. Hey, Mike, you bullshitting, Mike. That's what I'm gonna tell him, just to make him come back for my enjoyment.
Man, I told you I used to go to all those Bullets games because the lady across the street from me worked at the restaurant. So
And
like,
shout out Buddy Mother, Buddy and
yeah,
Erica Mother. Shout
yeah.
out.
And like I said, like, I got to see shit, so I see like the press and shit, right? And I ain't give a fuck about it. But the point being, when he blocked that Ron Mercer shot, those motherfuckers was jumping out they seat and all like this and shit. And all the games I've ever been there, I've been to playoff games, all that shit. I was there when John Wall had either 49 or 51 against the Grizzlies. I forgot. I mean, I've been to some of the Gilbert Arenas game winner games, and I ain't never see the sports writers do that except for that. And I remember I could hear clear as day Michael Wilbon go, "That motherfucker blocked that shit." Like, man, good. Anybody who ain't familiar with that shit, look up Michael Jordan blocks Ron Mercer shot Wizards versus Bulls. That motherfucker was 40. That shit was fucking amazing.
No, and at the same time, if I'm watching that type of shit, like I do every day, all day, give me that shit.
Oh,
Man, I
he said
love that.
something. He said something. But talking about Jordan, that's a good way to segue. We was gonna talk about 2020, and I kind of got the impression you wanted to lead it off talking about Kobe, and there's nothing more similar to Jordan basketball wise than Kobe.
100% because he's second on my list of all time, just for the simple fact, if you look up any imitations of Mike, and not even trying to discredit Kobe. Kobe put that work in, and he emulated Mike, and really, he's more
I call him an
skilled.
evolution, bro. Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say, yeah, he's more
look,
skilled. I agree.
he's more skilled
For sure.
and fundamentally sound than Mike ever was. Mike was straight raw, uncut coke, you know what I'm saying? But Kobe saw Mike and polished everything off, and they called Tim Duncan the big fundamental. Kobe Bryant is the most fundamentally sound basketball player ever. Slim, when Kobe died, dog, G had a game a couple hours later. Slim, I was so hurt, man, going to that game and watching that game. I'm turning up at G game up Crossland High School. He playing for Camp Springs. Slim, after that game, I wasn't even trying to drink. Man, I stopped at the liquor store, got Tito's. The next day, I couldn't even get up and go to work, man, when Kobe died. Man, I woke up at 4:30. I wake up at 4:30 every morning. And when I woke up at 4:30 that morning, man, I started crying right over. Like, man, I knew Kobe because he grew up with us, He's 42, I'm 38. He came in the league at 96, and I'm fully entrenched in the NBA culture by then. Man, Kobe, man.
You know what some of that is? There's this great poem. I forgot who wrote it, but it's talking about when you get older, you start to see your mortality in every blade of grass, but basically just meaning you start realizing that you're gonna die. And like Kobe was kind of like that for me in a different way. You know how much of a basketball fan I was. He was the first player ever to go to the NBA that was younger than me.
Yeah, 96.
So then to see him die, you know, and that's the first band that was ever in the league that I was older than. You know, that really put a frame on mortality and how, you know, how tenuous it is.
Definitely, but I've been thinking of mortality since, you know, forever, man. Yogi dying, all that, you know. Always been more funerals attended than weddings, absolutely. So that's always been a question. But at the same time, to see somebody that we grew up with, that was like I would assimilate it to how people felt when JFK died or Martin Luther King and Malcolm X got killed. Because that shit hurt, man, to the core. And it still hurt to this day. Rest in peace, Gigi, Kobe, and all the other passengers, man. It's going to forever be remembered. January 26th, that's Vince Carter's birthday. That's another, Miss Antoine helped raise me up in high school. Shout out to her. Her birthday that day too. And that day always entrenched in my brain, but now it's got that extra dagger in it. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, man. Thank you, man, God, for giving us Kobe and blessings in eternity. Rest in peace, baby.
Let's talk about some of the good times, though. You know, that last game was one of the most, just for the impact it had. You know, some of it wasn't the most visually compelling 60 points ever, but just the fact that the magnitude of the moment, like that shit was unforgettable. The indomitable will of his spirit to win those 2 titles without Shaq. I mean, I ain't trying to shit on nobody, but Lamar Odom ain't the best 3rd or 4th option that a NBA championship team's ever had. That's for sure. Paul Gasol is definitely not the most mentally toughest mentally number 2 option an NBA champion's ever had. Like, he certainly wasn't ranked at the top of that list. So the fact that Kobe won those 2 championships, Ron Artest, I mean, that was to me, that was the greatest accomplishment of his career. Not the 81, not the 3 titles with Shaq. Those two titles. Because, like, again, I don't want to talk. I'm never about putting people down, but in many aspects, you would have to say that those 2 championship teams were on the lower end, other than Kobe, of what a champion typically consists of.
Well, first of all, the 60-point game, I don't care how compelling it's going to be. If you get 60 buckets, it's compelling like shit.
Hell yeah.
81, absolutely too. And Paul Gasol, he was already the truth coming
he's
out.
A beast now. I'm not trying to hate.
But at the same time, Kobe turned him into a first ballot Hall of Famer. To include the foreign, you know, whatever the foreign little connectivity to it, you get in there because of that. But
he toughened them up for sure.
And everybody can't be a dog like Kobe, a killer.
Word.
And you got to have that, and you got to know how to nurture that. And Kobe was a master at that. Mike went at everybody. Shout out to Mike. I don't give a fuck what anybody say about Mike being an asshole or nothing, but Kobe nurtured that shit, and he figured out a way, and still with tough love, turned Paul Gasol into the great number 2, first ballot Hall of Famer, and Lamar Odom, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, Slim. One of the most skilled basketball players.
Oh, he's nice as fuck. I remember Rhode Island. I remember Rhode Island.
He embraced that motherfucking third wheel. Let me be the third wheel, and I'm average 11, and motherfucking get 7 assists off this motherfucker, and be 7 foot LO. Man, shout out Lamar Odom, straight dog, man.
But let me ask you this though: isn't it fair to say that he would rank in the lower half of the 3rd options of the NBA champions historically?
All right, name them. You gonna go and say Larry Bird, McHale, and Parrish, man. Lamar Odom will barbecue the chief.
Pascal Siakam's better than Lamar Odom.
Get the fuck out of here. Pascal Siakam don't got no fucking moves.
Pascal Siakam ain't never smoked crack and go to an NBA game, but dog, everything is part of life.
Pascal is me, but a little bigger and a little longer, and he plays super hard. Man, LO, no, man, he can't
Klay
carry LO
Thompson,
damn ice too bad.
Klay
Klay
Thompson,
Thompson, oh,
Ginobili,
but Klay Thompson, oh yeah,
Byron
I'll give you
Scott,
that. Get the
James
fuck out of
Worthy,
here,
James
man.
Worthy,
Get the big game
James.
James and LO is like a tie. They like a
Hell
tie. That's a
nah,
war.
hell nah. James Worthy is way better than Lamar
We
Odom.
gonna call that a push. We gonna
Hell
call
nah.
that a push.
James Worthy will push his ass off the court and scored on the break.
We gonna call that a push. We gonna call that a push. Move on. Give me some more.
Tom Heinsohn.
At my recipes, man.
Shit.
Recipes, Tommy Heinsohn.
Gail Goodrich on the lake.
That's one of my father's favorites, man. Shout out Pop, man. Gail Goodrich, man. Tough, man.
Who's the third best Bama on the Pistons teams?
They was all who you talking about?
I wasn't even ready for this.
Bill, that's Bill Lambier. He barbecue Bill Lambier.
Yeah, I guess Lamar Odom's better than Bill Lambier, that's for sure.
Definitely, and he's better than Ben Wallace.
He ain't better than the third best player on that '83 Sixers championship team, because that's like Dr. J or Moses.
Nah, but that team was loaded.
Maurice Cheeks or somebody, you know what I mean?
That whole series was loaded too, though. That whole series was loaded. But we deviating.
Yeah, we deviating from the best. So like shit. So since we on basketball, what do you think was the best moment? Because we just talked about the worst moment by far. What was the best moment overall basketball wise for you?
No, just getting through that bubble, man.
Yeah, and
like getting through that bubble, and shout out to the basketball tournament because they did it first, you know, for the whatever $1 million or whatever. They did it in their own bubble, had 0 positives, and they got that bubble done. I was betting like a motherfucker, winning money left and right, and then I hit a cold streak and get that bubble through. And shout out to LeBron and them for getting another ring.
That Jazz Nuggets series, I'll never forget that.
Woo! Jamal Murray, Devin Booker. Man, look, early predictions, Monty Williams will be the coach of the year this year. Force Heights.
I can see that. They I think that they'll certainly improve enough, and it's almost like if your team gets better a certain amount of games, you're almost guaranteed to win it. They probably the most likely to have that happen. I mean, you said you'd be betting. Did you bet on it?
Nah, not yet on the prop, John. But how about who you got in this one? Because I was thinking about this for you too, Mark. Comeback player of the year, KD or Steph Curry?
KD.
Ooh, it's
going. I've watched the Golden State, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Steph is a force magnifier around talented players, but I don't think he uplifts. I mean, he definitely uplifts people, but he's not as effective with younger players. Whereas KD could take any team and get them into the playoffs on his back. I don't know if Steph Curry can get a team into the playoffs on his back, but I know Steph Curry can make a good team a champion.
No, and I say in the West, it's going to be tough to take that young team that he do got to the playoffs, but he can.
It depends on how quick Wiseman can learn how to play defense. But he needs to learn the defensive rotations in the NBA.
No, but Wiseman going to be fine.
Not dog. He's gonna be great. Like I'm surprised. Like he's good because I ain't never really seen him play before.
But this the thing with Steph, just like KD, and like NFL players, you have to game plan for Lawrence Taylor. You got a game plan for Chase Young. You got a game plan for a dude like Chef Curry. Because he can pull up from fucking half court. So any given night, he can give you 50-piece chicken. So
I mean, that's true, but like bro, like I was watching some of their games, and he getting them open, right? Like he getting Oubre open, and them the shots that Klay Thompson would make, and Oubre missing them Jones.
No, and give it time.
That's why I mean he's a force multiplier for the good players. But like if everybody come press out on him and he gets somebody the ball that's open and they ain't hitting it at an NBA level, what can they do? I mean, that's not on him.
But eventually, when that's your job, Kelly Oubre, and the supporting cast gonna start hitting them shots. Poole, all them other dudes.
Pascal, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Pool, Go Blue,
And
all
then
that.
Draymond ain't play yet either, so we gotta see how he look. Because if he's in shape and motivated, that makes a hell of a difference on what's gonna happen.
Oh, definitely X Factor out there, but I hope he had been getting some goddamn shots up because that shot is broke as their mind, man. It's a vase, man. That shit in the living room with 12, 10-year-old kids playing football.
You the college expert. Who was the best college player this year?
You got Jalen Suggs out Gonzaga. You got Luka Garza, fresh from Murray High School in DC, in Iowa. Player of the year last year. But I would say, what's my man name? Cunningham. Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State, man. Super tough, man. Super tough. Unstoppable.
That's supposedly the next #1 pick. I got my
Hey.
most improved player this year. This might surprise you. I got Domantas Sabonis as my most improved player of the 2020 calendar year. Like if you go from January to December.
Oh, you talking about NBA?
Yeah, in any level, shit. Because I mean, I think the best year was had by a woman. So
And who was that?
Brianna on the Connecticut team, the comeback. I don't want to say Brianna Stewart.
No, Breonna Stewart played for the Seattle
I
Storm.
was going to say the wrong jump.
She played for Seattle Storm. She went to UConn, but she played for Seattle Storm. They won the championship this year.
Okay, well, she had the best year, I feel, of any basketball player.
I say it's got to be LeBron. I'm not even a LeBron guy, but you got to give my man his due, man. LeBron.
But I said most improved player, and I said I think this year the player that got the better from improved the most from January to December is Domantas Sabonis.
I already think he just settled into his zone. He was already producing what he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? He was as skilled coming out of Gonzaga as he's doing now.
Have you seen him this year?
No, and that's what I'm saying. He settled into his own. Man,
So you think he took that leap where he's comfortable?
No,
he's asserting himself.
If you seen him, you saw him in Gonzaga. He was doing that in Gonzaga, 14, 10, easy money.
I mean, I don't know, bro. He to me, he looks better than he looks 2 years ago. I ain't never seen him at Gonzaga.
He got great hand. He can rebound his ass off. He tough as fucking shit.
Bro, he set the best picks in the whole league.
But like as far as like most improved, shit, you got a lot of people out there, man. Trae Young and them balling down Atlanta, man. Trae Young looking to be trying to be like an MVP candidate. You know what I'm talking
about? So if you were starting a team from scratch, would you rather have Trae Young or Bradley Beal?
Neither. Trae Young.
Trae Young.
Because he can play the point.
Got you. But you said you wanted to talk about more than just the best of basketball. So let's see what you saw. Best movies. What was the best movie you saw?
Shit, you know how the COVID shit, that's like one of my favorite things to do is go to the movies, take the youngsters.
What movie theater? Rivertown?
Nah, I ain't been to Rivertown in a while, man. Shout out Rivertown. I watched Belly sitting down in the back on the floor.
Yeah, I could imagine that. Yeah, it was packed, huh?
Look, stupid packed with a fifth of Christian Brothers brandy, man.
On the floor, CD.
Twisted at like 17, 18 years old.
Twisted. Happy as a motherfucker.
Oh, that was great. It was great. But Kingstown, maybe, Hoffman, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? AMC Jones, whatever it is, But that the COVID shit fucked all that up. So just been resorting to Netflix and the Redbox and whatever, how they've been popping out with movies. But I'm telling you, a top dog hood classic that, man, if you into that gangster shit, man, the Tax Collector, man. Tax Collector.
I ain't see that. I'll check it out. It's on Netflix.
Nah, I got it from the Redbox, and when I tell you straight, it's Drug Cartel, got Shia LaBeouf in it playing the little white boy essay. George Lopez in the joint with a couple nondescript.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. I'll rent that on Prime. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Real deal Holyfield.
That's what's up.
intense. I'm into that Ozark series on Netflix. I didn't even went back to watching The Wire
Yeah, I watched The Wire this year.
a couple times this year. Just bored.
My best new movie,
all
that shit that just came out on Netflix called Mank. That movie Mank is good as fuck.
Who's in that?
Gary Odom. It's in black and white. Amanda Seyfried. It's about a dude. Like apparently back in the day, screenwriters didn't even want credit, and they would just get like a salary, like you make this much a year, and they sit together to write shit. And homeboy was like all like courageous on like fighting Nazis and shit, but basically he wrote a movie, Citizen Kane, that's considered one of the best and fought for his credit. I don't know. It's just,
Citizen Kane.
it's just good.
You seen Irishman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that joint was alright.
I mean,
it ain't up there.
It was all right. It ain't no like Casino or Goodfellas or nothing.
And see, it's hard to live up to that type of shit with Marty. Goodfellas is like my top.
I mean, he did with The Departed though, so I mean, like he still got. He it's theoretically possible he could do it again.
Yeah, but nah, Departed ain't in my top 3. Goodfellas is in my top 3 movies all time. And in 2020, I've watched Goodfellas at least 2-3 times because that shit came on Netflix too.
I watched The Town like 2 or 3 times. I fuck with The Town hard body. You know that come from this book called Prince of Thieves. That's a really good book.
Hard body. The Town is that shit. And my father went to school. My father came from Bury Farms, went to Canterbury High School, got an academic scholarship coming out of there, and went to Boston University. And he said you could not go to Charleston as a black man.
Yeah. Yeah,
so they couldn't have that shit.
That's why Bill Russell never went back for years. Boston was like the most racist city in America. People think racism is just some southern white shit, but it's not.
I don't know if you into the other shit, but like, we grew up when that Karate Kid, or you into that Cobra Kai?
Yeah. Shit. When we done, I'm finna, the new season just came out. I'm finna go watch it with my wife.
Put it in my body bag, Johnny.
Yeah.
I hit the laugh too. Yeah.
Hey, but
shout out to Dutch, man, because Dutch was Steve McQueen's son, man.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the blonde head kid from Karate Kid, man, Dutch, man.
But so you talk about Karate Kid, that's one of the best. But then some of them other Karate Kid movies are some of the worst. And you said you also wanted to talk about some of the worst for 2020. So I got one. The worst decision I seen in 2020 that don't got nothing to do with no politics was Mason Plumlee leaving Anthony Davis open in that corner.
Yeah, no, that was tough.
That was a bad decision.
Yeah, that was tough, but 2020 done hit me with way worse than that, rather than missing an open man, because I swear, we already talked about Kobe, but another one, I grew up with me and my peoples, man, eating dinner at 7:30 watching Jeopardy, man, and rest in peace, Alex Trebek, because that hurt just as much as Kobe too, man. Grew up on, like me and my family now, watch Jeopardy to this day. And I be busting their ass too. Kind of like,
damn, that's what's up. I don't think I had a TV that could get Jeopardy in over a decade.
Damn, I was on Channel 7.
Yeah, I ain't had a TV that could get I ain't had none but streaming shit. But, I mean, I definitely fuck with Alex Trebek and Jeopardy and all that shit. You ever notice how a lot of motherfuckers that win that shit be coming from places in Virginia? Arlington and shit.
No, I went to school. Shout out Jamie Wiley, man, from St. Stephen's, man. She graduated with me. She was on Jeopardy, man.
Yeah.
She graduated the year 2000 from St. Stephen's with me. She was on Jeopardy, man. She did good on that job.
It's amazing how much talent come from the DMV area in all walks of life. And to go back to the best real quick, the first time I saw that you was podcasting was when you were talking about that In the Water, which led to us. And the In the Water thing led me to think about how, the one thing it didn't touch on is that, I don't think people understand, like, I don't want to say anybody's names, but people that I was really good friends with went to college, right? And they had good grades in high school and they studied and they did what they were supposed to. But the level of education they received in high school, they weren't competitive in a university setting. So then their freshman year, they had to take remedial courses that don't count towards a degree. But, they still have to pay for them and all that. And a lot of people, I'm sure you see it, would only go to college for a year or two because, they're already made to feel as if they're starting from behind. And every one of them DMV dudes who made it, they overcame that as well. And I have tremendous respect for them because I know how hard that is. Because I watched people I know who tried their hardest, who are smart people, who just weren't given the same tools, not able to navigate that system because maybe they weren't as talented at basketball or they didn't have as much money from their family,
Nah, but we equipped to deal with that type of shit because we was raised that way. You know what I'm saying? I went to high school for a year, and I ain't never get bad grades. I always got good grades. I went to St. Stephen's because I was smelling myself about to go to high school, Oxon Hill. Nah, take your ass over the bridge. You smart. Go to St. Stephen's, play ball, stay out the fucking way. And I always got good grades. And then I went to Morgan because I ain't want to go to the D2 jump down to South Carolina. I'm gonna walk on, but never got bad grades, and I ended Morgan with a 0.0. The first semester was 0.3. Like I wasn't even going to school. So anybody, should
I
have
mean,
just.
but I seen cats that really tried hard and failed out after a year or two and just came home with some debt.
No, I came home with that, but at the same time, you roll with the fucking punches.
Yeah, true indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Every day, like I said, we done been to more funerals than weddings, so fuck it, man. We just roll with the fucking punches. We always been underestimated. We always got the short end of the fucking stick. Ain't nobody gonna boo-hoo for us, so fuck that shit. Keep that shit moving. And that shit have made us tougher. Like, when it's a broke, bad day, we all right. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny you say that because one of the best things that happened to me, the first episode we did, y'all can go back and listen to it. I was talking about how bad it was growing up, and how I got out of there the first chance I got, and you said something about how it wasn't that bad, and I thought about how like you always got a smile on your face and you made the best of your opportunity, and you're involved in youth sports, and I thought to myself like that's more of like a strong person who can stay there and see the good in it, and try to make it better.
Nah, you strong for leaving and building what you built down there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing good. I'm proud of you, Slim.
I mean,
Everybody got their own.
I wasn't implying that there was any weakness on my
No,
part.
never that.
But
I just had to accentuate that. You know what I'm talking about?
well, thank you, sir. But it did make me look back and think about like how much fun I had and how much I love Forest Heights and balling at the park and all that other shit.
Man, everybody, man, the Hatchets, man, Armstead, Ellis, you already
Play
mentioned,
tackle
man,
football on
JB,
the
man,
street,
all that, man.
honk, all that good shit.
Man,
Spades.
tackle football on the street. Shout
Yeah.
out to my homie Dre, man. My oldest friend around there, my man Dre. Since 4 years old, we used to play tackle on the street. He dove for a game-winning touchdown in the end zone, man. Skint up his whole side ribs at like 8, 9 years old. My man Dre, man.
Man, you remember Kevin Hatchett?
Tackle.
Man, he used to run a lot motherfuckers out there. Remember we go on that field and shit? The one that be between like the park and the elementary school?
Yeah,
bro, I see Kevin Hatchett fuck some motherfuckers up, man. Shit. I got a Kevin Hatchett scar to this day.
Man, that's my man. Shout out Kev, man.
We finna go viral in Forest Heights. Man, people ain't gonna know what the fuck we talking about. We gonna be viral as a motherfucker around the
Fat Mike
around the Eastover area.
Fat Mike took my seats out at 75 Bonneville and laid the carpet down, man. Shout out Fat Mike and Kevin Hatchett, man. Rest in peace, Pops, Kevin. Rest in peace, Pops Hatchett, man.
Yeah, damn, I remember him. I didn't know he died. Yeah, rest in peace, Pop Hatchet. But some more, you was talking about the worst. So let's talk about Fred the Godson.
Gordo, you hit it on the head. I'm Slim. Easily top 3 metaphor rappers of all time. He's one of my favorites. Gordo, man, I'm Jordan number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He wore 2, 3, 4, 5. I spit cane, man. That's Gordo, man.
Yeah, I mean, bruh, like there's songs of his that I heard because I'm a big Dipset fan. He's on a lot of them shits, right? So
Yeah, Capo.
it'll be a song like the 15th time I heard it, I finally caught something he said, like, damn, you know what I mean?
That's how all this shit do. Slim, he said, I rarely eat pork. I don't even like money with Abraham on it. Like, 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 like I'm looking bored in these interviews. I've been nice since damn Charlie Ward was with the Seminoles. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
damn, yeah.
The motherfucker, Slim, man, anybody that ain't on Fred the Godson, rest in peace, Gordo, man. One of the GOATs, man. I'm telling you, and people don't give him his flowers when he was here. My man, shout out Omar. We ain't appreciate him as much as we should have. Slim was like that.
He got that Big L problem where people be annoyed by his voice and they don't listen to what he say.
I love his voice. Love his voice. Motherfucker.
But most people would say they didn't like him. You couldn't say that they couldn't rap, so they say I don't like his voice. That'd be the biggest criticism I hear. Because like trust me, bro, I was around all them bloggers and reporters who would talk about that shit, and the ones who would say they didn't like him, they'd always cite his voice.
They ain't know what the fuck they was talking about, and they was motherfucking hating. You know why? Because they probably,
that's a rap media, brother.
Yeah, and they don't, and honestly, shout out to them. But we the streets, and that shit was cranking, man, and it's still cranking, and I play that shit to this day, man. Always, man.
Hey, you can answer a question for me, because talking about the difference between the streets and the media, I was already gone. Did motherfuckers ever listen to Eminem like that?
I did. I listened to early Eminem. I listened to the last Kamikaze joint. That joint was trash, but I listened to it and I didn't like it.
Did you ever hear like
Eminem?
Would it be like coming out Bama's cars and shit, like the UGK and the Fifth War Boys would?
No, when we was kids, that joint that Stan was on, you know what I'm saying, that early shit, we listened to that in the car, but we was listening to everything, like all that other shit you just named, No Limit, all that shit at the same time. We was cranking out shit because we had little plugs from, Five Finger Discounts, Eastover or whatever, and we always had all the fresh music that was out. So we had that shit. And that Stan shit, and that early shit was cranking, man. That joint he sampled from Earl Smith on that album, that joint was cranking too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got like, I'm not no anti-Eminem guy. He's I just find it hard, like when he makes them songs that be about like how hard it is being blue collar, them shits be dope. Or when he make them jumps to just show how nice he is, them shits be dope. Sometimes them shits he make where he be like making fun of like pop stars, them shits be too silly to me,
No, and when the shit where he threw me off when he started trying to be the fastest rapper and beat Twista in the Guinness Book of fucking World Records, that's where he lost me. I'm not trying to hear that shit. You supposed to be the lyrical genius. Let me hear them bars, man.
I don't even know the Kamikaze album that came out this year.
Like early this year or late last year, because it was like right around the time he had snatched up like after he snatched up signed Conway and West Side and
Griselda and them.
Yeah, and to me that's real hip hop to me. That's that shit I be cranking. I like bars, man. That raw shit. To me they the new Wu-Tang, G Unit, Locks, and Mobb Deep wrapped into one, man.
We was talking about the worst. Was that the worst album of the year? Like what musician had the most disappointing release to you this year?
I don't know, cause I ain't trying to bash nobody, and at the same time, if I listened to it, I semi liked it. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my son Lil G. He put me on. Really, like he always been listening to Lil Baby, but he put me on the Lil Baby joint. I really don't like that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But that joint got some beats. That joint cranking. Shout out to Lil G for turning me on the Lil Baby album. But to me, I can't name no bottom or disappointment. I'ma just name my number one album of this year was easily the Conway joint. from King to a God or whatever it is. That's my shit. That joint is a perfect album. That joint is a perfect album.
I haven't heard it and I never will. Shit,
no judgment here.
Speaking of the Lil Baby, you know, I really fuck with Dub Baby. What you think of Dub Baby?
I like him. Like I said, GB listening to him. That shit.
See, I fuck with the Baby really hard. Like I think he's gonna
the
be
last
the
joint I really listened to was that Jeezy joint, and I like. And I ain't like a lot of them on there, but that joint come on super hot. And the 2 Chainz, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a couple times.
I mean, I liked all the Gucci Mane releases this year. Back to Bad Decisions. I guess Nate Robinson made a really bad decision, huh?
Or he got some big old nuts. You can look at it 2 or 3 ways. He went on TV and jumped in that ring, and he took that.
He definitely got heart. Anybody who gets in the ring, I mean, the proverbial man in the arena. Shit, you got the heart to get out there and play.
Yeah, and I got as hard-headed as Youngin is. I got him getting back in there and redeeming himself, man. Shout out Nate Robinson, man. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, man, legends.
Yeah, but what you think when he got knocked out like that?
God bless. God bless. God bless.
You seen talking about bad shit? You seen Wonder Woman 84?
Not yet. I'm gonna check it out. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool. It's just too long.
That's what I heard. I heard that. I heard there's some good shots of the Landmark Mall and a lot of the.
Yeah.
But I also heard that about that movie Tenet with Denzel's son. I heard that's 2 hours and some change. I don't know what the fuck I'm watching.
Yeah, everybody knows seen that shit said they don't understand what's happening, but the special effects are so good. You just be looking at that shit for the spectacle and shit.
Yeah, and see, that's what Transformers lost me back in the day. I ain't know what Transformer was fucking winning. Too much damn CGI going on.
Yeah.
So I be too smacked though to kill her. So I don't like. Give me some damn sports. Jump ball.
Yeah, word. Well, shit, you know, our next episode, we're going to talk about what we looking forward to in 2021. But the last time when we was talking about moments of greatness, you mentioned how you regretted you didn't get to mention Heath Ledger as a Joker.
Oh, definitely, man. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. And that's why I meant to tell you all to jump. We're going to do another greatness episode. It's going to be like, that's going to be like a Encyclopedia Britannica was used to be delivered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I like talking about this good shit because I don't want to turn on the TV and hear motherfuckers bickering about shit they don't even know about. You feel me?
And that's always been my thing. I drove past an accident the other day, stuck in traffic, and the person in front of me trying to look at that shit. I'm keeping on straight. Get that shit moving, mind your own fucking business, and let's get to living, man. God bless the dead, and hope nobody hurt over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, let's keep that shit moving, man. Try, man, capitalize on pain.
So what about Heath Ledger and Joker? Like me personally, the bank robbery and the hospital scene, and then just his speech about how futile the system is.
Man, when Michael John White little scene. Motherfucking that when he hit that little clicker and that bitch ain't blow up the hospital at first.
Yeah.
The bank robber scene to crank it off. Like he and Jack Nicholson was great.
Yeah.
But
and
it's so sad that he died right after, man, because that shit was awesome and it was perfect. So, man, that was greatness in that whole role, man. That's one of the greatest roles I ever seen on cinema, man.
Hey, you know, I gotta point out injustice wherever I see it, because most people won't. For those who are convinced that systemic racism is fake, Pimp C and Heath Ledger died in the same state. Look how long it took back for how long it took for the toxicology reports to come back for each individual, and you'll see the difference of class and privilege in America. But you know, in the same spirit that you didn't get to say everything in the moments of greatness, is there a 2020 that's on the table you ain't get to discuss?
No, it's just, man, it's just great that we here, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't taking no vaccine. Like, I'm not trusting shit that you just invented a little while ago. That shit might make your dick fall off. But, man, there's blessings, man, that we here. And sports going on. We might have a Super Bowl still. I know you ain't watching that shit, but, you know, we here. Happy New Year. And, man,
So I want to end this on a super positive note, man. Tell me about this bike riding you do, and like what do you do? You go to different high schools, and then you take a picture there, and you talk about some of the legends that came from that school.
I don't really talk about them. Like, I
Well, I
might.
mean, you know.
The thing is, where I'm located at, I'm right in the mix. When we was growing up, we was exit 3B. Shout out exit 3B, the GOAT. But
Children's farms and all that.
yeah, so that's right at the end. That's at the hospital. That's at the bridge. So now I'm on, in the middle. So it's like in between everything. I'm in between around the way. I'm in between Landover. I'm in between the city. I'm in between Waldorf. I can get to everywhere. And you know how the basketball shit is around here. Like Glen Park right up the street. Surrattsville right down the street. I keep riding. I can get to National Christian with Kevin Durant, Mike Beasley, Abdullah Jallo, and them went. And then I travel right around the corner, get to Oxon Hill High School, where you all my peoples went, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Michael Tate and Mike Sweetney, the GOATs and Becky Brunson. Shout out Lord of the Ring, Becky Brunson, 5-time WNBA champion. And that's what it is. I can ride
I
that
see you
all
got
day.
VA too, though. Like I saw you as a TC and everything.
Nah, see, but TC, I work at TC, and that's my goal. When it start getting better weather, it's been I get some good weather here, good weather there, but every time it's some good weather, I got other stuff to do. But when I get some good weather, that's my next goal, is to ride from my house to TC to St. Stephen's, where I went to school, back home. And that's about 39 round trip, 39.42.
And what do you get out of this?
Just I need to get in shape. Like, I work so damn much, I don't really be having the time to exercise. So I just gotta get that type of shit in.
Do you get a sense of peace and shit? I notice when I do like long walks or long bike rides, it's just almost like meditation.
No, it's
Like I don't get that same feeling lifting weights. You feel me?
no, it's satisfaction. It's like, yeah, you did that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get home, your whole motherfucking 3 shirt. If it's a little breezy out there, junk, whole 3 shirts be soaked. That shit, man. Yeah.
I be feeling like my thoughts are clear though.
Nah, see, I smoke, you know what I'm saying? So I be trying, my thoughts are always jumble jumble. I'm always a crazy thinker, but riding that shit, getting that work in, accomplishing that shit, cranking ass music, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get some longevity, you know what I'm saying? That shit's still hard though. Like, I ain't been in a while, so it's still hard, But
You'll get it, brother. I got faith in you. Well, shit, that I guess that's a good place to wrap it up. This has been the best and worst of 2020. Big Fact Show, S.D.E edition. G from the shop, Mark Waldo Ward. Thank you for your time, brother. Take it light.
peace and blessings.